Gentlemen, if you're over the age of 60, I want you to pause for just a few minutes and really listen. Every single day, your prostate, that small walnut sized gland sitting just below your bladder, is working silently. Most men don't think about it until something goes wrong, and unfortunately, after the age of 60, more than half of all men begin to experience prostate enlargement, also known as BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. The signs creep up slowly, waking up multiple times a night to use the bathroom, struggling with weak urine flow, feeling like your bladder never really empties, and, in some cases, issues that affect confidence, intimacy, and overall energy. But here's the shocking part. Many of the foods you eat every single day may be quietly feeding your prostate's growth. Foods that look normal, harmless, even healthy, could be making your symptoms worse. Today, I'm going to break down 5 everyday foods that enlarge your prostate and what you can eat instead. Stick with me until the end, because I'll not only reveal these foods, but also share practical, science-backed swaps that will protect your prostate and improve your daily life. Before we jump into the foods, let's talk about why this matters so much after age 60. Your prostate has one main job. It produces fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. But as men age, hormone levels, especially testosterone and its byproduct, DHT, begin to shift. These hormonal changes can cause the prostate to grow larger. Now, a slightly larger prostate isn't always dangerous, but the problem is its location. The prostate surrounds the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of your body. When it grows, it squeezes that tube, creating frustrating urinary problems. According to the American Urological Association, over 50% of men in their 60s have some symptoms of BPH. That number rises to 90% of men in their 80s. Left unchecked, an enlarged prostate can lead to repeated bladder infections, kidney damage, and in severe cases, complete urinary blockage that requires emergency surgery. Scary, right? But here's where lifestyle, and specifically diet, comes in. Research shows that men in countries with a more plant-based, lower-fat diet have significantly fewer prostate problems. For example, studies comparing Western men to those in parts of Asia revealed that diet alone could explain the big difference in prostate health outcomes. That's why understanding what you eat daily is critical. If you're over 60 and want to keep your independence, energy, and confidence, you cannot ignore these foods. Let's dive in. The first food is red meat. Think about the classic American diet. Burgers on the grill, steaks on the weekend, bacon with breakfast. For decades, this has been the cultural picture of manhood. But the truth is, heavy red meat consumption is one of the biggest dietary drivers of prostate enlargement. Why red meat is a problem: inflammation. Cooking red meat at high temperatures, like grilling or frying, creates compounds called heterocyclic amines, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. These trigger inflammation in the body, and the prostate is particularly sensitive to inflammation. Hormonal effects. Red meat is high in saturated fats, which influence hormone levels, particularly testosterone and DHT. Elevated DHT directly fuels prostate cell growth. Iron overload. Red meat is also high in heme iron, which, in excess, can stress cells and increase oxidative damage in the prostate. What the research says. A Harvard study found that men who ate the most red meat were significantly more likely to develop prostate problems compared to those who ate the least. In contrast, men who swapped red meat for fish or plant proteins had a much lower risk. Real-life example. Picture this. 2 men, both 65, both with mild prostate issues. One continues eating steak 3 nights a week. The other switches to salmon and beans. Fast forward a year. The first man's symptoms worsen. He's waking up 3 to 4 times a night. The second man? His symptoms improve. Why? Less inflammation, healthier hormones, healthier swaps. Replace steak with grilled salmon or sardines rich in omega-3s, which are anti-inflammatory. Try lentils, beans, or quinoa for plant-based protein. Save red meat for special occasions instead of daily meals. The second food is one almost every household in America has: dairy, where dairy sneaks. In a glass of milk with breakfast, cheese on sandwiches, pizzas, and burgers. Yogurt or ice cream as snacks. It's everywhere. But dairy has been strongly linked to increased risk of prostate growth and even prostate cancer in some studies. Why dairy is a problem. Hormones. Cow's milk contains natural hormones, including estrogens and insulin-like growth factor IGF-1. These can stimulate prostate tissue growth. Saturated fat. Like red meat, dairy products are often high in saturated fat, which worsens inflammation. Calcium overload. Excess calcium from dairy has been linked to suppression of vitamin D, a critical nutrient that helps regulate prostate cell growth. A meta-analysis of studies involving thousands of men found that high dairy intake was consistently associated with greater risk of prostate problems. Men who drank the most milk had up to 30 to 40% higher risk. Imagine thinking your daily healthy glass of milk is helping you, but in reality, it's quietly fueling the very symptoms you're desperate to avoid: frequent urination, discomfort, and restless nights. Healthier swaps. Try almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk. Studies show plant milks don't carry the same risks. For calcium, eat leafy greens, sesame seeds, and fortified alternatives. If you love cheese, cut back on portion sizes and choose lower-fat versions. The third food, or rather drink, is alcohol. Why alcohol affects the prostate. Bladder irritant. Alcohol increases urine production and irritates the bladder. For men with BPH, this worsens urgency and frequency. Dehydration. Alcohol dehydrates the body, concentrating urine and forcing the bladder to work harder. Inflammation. Alcohol raises inflammatory markers throughout the body, including in the prostate. The reality for men over 60. Even moderate drinking, say 1 to 2 drinks a day, can make nighttime urination worse. Men often blame getting older for waking up 3 to 4 times a night, but their nightly wine or whiskey might be the hidden cause. Better choices. Swap beer for sparkling water with lemon. Try herbal teas like chamomile or hibiscus, which soothe the urinary tract. If you drink, stick to occasional use, not daily. Next on the list, processed foods. From frozen pizzas to potato chips to fast food, processed foods are packed with salt, sugar, and preservatives. Why processed foods? Harm the prostate. High sodium. Too much salt causes fluid retention, forcing the bladder to work harder and making urinary symptoms worse. Sugar and insulin spikes. Refined carbs and sugar raise insulin, which may drive prostate tissue growth. Nutrient deficiency. Processed foods lack antioxidants and vitamins that protect the prostate from damage. Example. Compare 2 lunches. One man eats a fast food burger, fries, and soda. The other eats grilled chicken, brown rice, and broccoli. The first meal is high in salt and fat, instantly stressing the bladder and prostate. The second meal reduces inflammation and supports prostate health. Eat whole foods, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts. If you must snack, choose unsalted nuts, seeds, or fruit. Cook at home. Avoid long ingredient lists. Section 6. Food number 5, caffeine, 400 words. Finally, let's talk about caffeine. Coffee, tea, sodas, energy drinks. For many men, it's a daily ritual. But for those with an enlarged prostate, caffeine is like fuel on the fire. Why caffeine worsens symptoms. Diuretic effect. Caffeine makes you urinate more often. Bladder stimulation. It causes bladder spasms, creating urgency. Nighttime disruption. Afternoon coffee or evening soda almost guarantees multiple trips to the bathroom at night. The simple fix. Limit yourself to one small cup of coffee in the morning. Switch to decaf or herbal teas. Avoid caffeinated sodas completely. So, let's recap the 5 everyday foods quietly enlarging your prostate. Red meat, dairy products. Alcohol, processed foods. Caffeine individually, they may not seem dangerous, but when combined, day after day, they quietly fuel prostate growth, inflammation, and urinary problems. The good news? You don't have to give them all up at once. Start small. Swap one serving of red meat for fish. Replace your nightly ice cream with fruit. Trade alcohol for sparkling water. Cut your processed snack habit in half. Switch your afternoon coffee to herbal tea. Remember, small changes create big results over time. Gentlemen, your prostate health is not just about avoiding discomfort. It's about preserving your independence, your confidence, and your quality of life. If you're over 60, this is the time to take control. Don't wait until symptoms worsen. Start today. Your future self will thank you.